Hey there, entrepreneurs and business owners. My name is Aaron Hughes. I am one of the admins of this Facebook group, the Entrepreneurs and Business Owners Millionaire Mastery. And I'm also the co-founder of Food Dog Group, and I've started some other businesses as well. And in this video, I want to give you a way to think about growing business that you might not have thought of before. So one of the reasons that we started the Entrepreneurs and Business Owners Millionaire Mastery Facebook group is because we want to give people a way to think differently about business growth. There's a lot of experts and gurus out there who can give you tactics and strategies about growing, but there are very few people out there who are talking about thinking differently about business growth. And there's a lot of ways we can define that. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but in general, I'll say there's business strategies, but there's a way to think about growing your business that's not getting talked about. And that's what we like to talk about here at Entrepreneurs and Business Owners Millionaire Mastery, is thinking differently about business growth so that you're working on growing your business, but you're also elevating other areas of your life as well. Serving your family, serving your community, staying healthy, growing your personal wealth. There's all these other different things that we say, don't neglect those on your journey to business growth. And it's not just about business tactics. It's a whole shift in the way you think. That's what this group is all about. And so in this video, I want to share with you a simple way to just think about business growth that you can actually also apply to your life. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because we get a lot of people in this group who come in thinking about business strategies and thinking about business tactics, and they say, oh, I know this business owner who's doing this successfully. Would that work in my business? Or I've got this recruiting problem. How do I solve it in my business? And those are great questions to ask, and they're valid questions to ask, but we would suggest that there's a different way to think about it. Don't just go out and find a business strategy or a business tactic, trip over that and think about how it might plug into your business. Instead, this is what we suggest. Look at where you are now in business and where you want to go. Okay, so you've got, this is my marketing efforts right now and the results that I'm getting. This is where I want to go in my business with my marketing, for example. Or this is my recruiting efforts and results right now, and this is where I want to go. So think about that, where you are and where you want to go. It's a gap analysis. Just think about that. Maybe write it out on a piece of paper with where you are now and where you want to go. And what's helpful then is to look at a metric. What would you measure as a measure of success for that gap? So maybe in marketing, from where you are to where you want to go, the metric might be the number of leads generated. Or if recruiting was an issue that you have, the where you are to where you want to go metric might be new hires, just as an example. And of course, I'm using marketing and recruiting here, but this applies to any area of your business, no matter what type of business you have. Look at where you are, look at where you want to go, and then what is the metric that you use to measure your success in that gap. But now, go on further. So we're filling the gap with the metric, but some other things as well. The next thing you want to think about is, who are the experts that I might be able to learn from? Because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I think that's the great lie told to business owners and entrepreneurs. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. There are other experts out there who are doing amazing things, so you can find them and learn from them. I think it was it Sir Isaac Newton who said, I have seen farther because I stand on the shoulders of giants. And that is a powerful and inspiring phrase that reminds us that, we don't have to create things over and over. We can simply learn from other people, learn from the experts who are doing it well. So that's where you might start bringing in those other strategies and other tactics. But notice that you're bringing them in now after you've already considered where you are, where you want to go, and what's the metric that you want to measure. So we've got that part of the gap analysis, the metric, and then the experts. And then the next thing is look at the actions. What are the actions that those experts are recommending? And see if they fit in your business. Looking at a strategy or a tactic and trying to figure out if it works in your business isn't always the best strategy, because sometimes you might not have enough people to do it. Or maybe you don't have the skill set or the technological infrastructure to help you do it. So you have to kind of figure out what are the actions and then make sure that you're filling in the other pieces so that you can take action. But honestly, that's the easy part of growing a business, is figuring out what to do and then how to get it done. And then the last part, and here's where I think the real magic of this Facebook group is, and that is to think differently, to change your mindset, to ask yourself, what are the blockages that I am facing internally to get this done? All right, so let's just use an example here that is probably an example that maybe some of you relate to. And that would be the example of recruiting. And so let's say where you are now, you've got yourself and a couple part-timers. Where you want to go, you want to have a team of 5 people. And so you know that you need, you know what your metric is. You need so many new hires to go from you and some part-timers to 5 full-time team members. So you know your metric. And then you can go out and look for experts who might have some insight to share on recruiting. And because you've already identified where you are, where you want to go, and what your metric is, you're able to go out and look in a more laser-focused way on which experts can help you and which insights you can get from research that you might do in a book or on YouTube. And then as you're doing your research, gather them together and start filling out that list of actions so that you're creating your own playbook for recruiting based on what you're learning from the experts, but all feeding back to that metric that you decided earlier. And so you'll create a list of actions, not just from one expert, but maybe from several, from books or from YouTube channels or from things that you're reading online. You'll build your action playbook and then you can start to implement that. But then don't forget that last step is to think differently about this and to ask yourself, what mindset do I need in order to achieve this? Or what mindset do I have now that's holding me back? A lot of business owners will look at recruiting and say, oh, recruiting is so hard right now. There's no one to hire. Well, that's not true. There's a lot of people looking for work. We just have a mindset that there's no one to hire, and therefore it becomes challenging. And so that last step of thinking differently about it and changing your mindset is really what will add fuel to those actions and to make those actions more actionable, to help you actually move forward and take action when often other people are stuck. They know their actions, but they're not thinking differently, and so they don't move forward. So that is a simple framework for how to grow your business. It starts with not just tripping over a strategy or a tactic and trying to figure out how it might fit in your business. Rather, it starts with that gap analysis. Where am I now? Where do I need to go? What is the metric that I'll use to measure success? And then fill in that gap with what are the experts saying? And then building that playbook of actions. And then finally, and perhaps most importantly, changing how you think about that whole process. Stop thinking of it as a marketing problem or a recruiting problem or a lack of profit or a lack of income or a hardship of inventory, and start thinking differently and asking yourself, how can I think more opportunistically here? What can I do to turn this from what I think is a disadvantage into an advantage? Change the way you think, and it will change the actions that you take. And when you change the actions, you'll start to achieve the metric that you measured, and you will definitely go from where you are now to where you want to go in business. And everything I've just said also applies to your life. If you are having a challenge in life as well, maybe in your fitness level, look at where you are, look at where you want to go, identify a metric, and then look at the experts. Build that playbook of actions. And then think differently. Stop thinking that fitness is a challenge, and instead think of how can I make fitness a great enjoyment in my day. And that will feed into those actions that you're taking. And then that will help to fulfill the metric, whatever your metric is for your fitness. And that will help you ultimately go from where you are to where you want to go. That gap analysis with a robust center part that I've just described applies to business, it applies to life. And really it comes down to thinking differently about what the change is that you want to make. And that will help to create a greater transformation no matter what it is you want to transform. All right, everyone, I would love to hear your thoughts, your insights, or feedback on this video. So post it in the comments below and let me know what you think. And we'll see you again on another video soon.